And welcome everybody to Co-op Guild. This is Steve, and I'm here with something new for the channel. So this is going to be what I'm calling a recap video. So probably more shorter in duration to say, and very much laid back, open-ended. And I kind of want to give the opportunity to talk about things that happen behind the scenes, maybe not in front of the camera, and just kind of share opinions and thoughts about games. And this is a great place to take any questions, answer any comments you guys have in this format. So, like I said, first time doing this, and I'm very open to adjusting format. If you have suggestions, comments, let me know, and I'm very open to how this goes. So, I see lots of friends here today. So, hey, Steph, how's it going? Nice to see you. Derek's here. Derek with a nat 20 was crazy. So, hey, Brian's here as well. Chris. Yeah, lots of friends. Okay. Cool. So, recap. So, like I said, this is something new. So let me just put a spin on things on the channel a little bit, and before I dive into things. So I'm one that always likes to take a moment and kind of look back and reflect on how things are going. And I tend to kind of do that, especially around New Year's. It's a good time to like remember and like think about where we've been and where we're going, stuff like that. And so coming up to New Year's, I was like, you know what? I've always been part of the channel to love. I always like the interaction side of it. And I want to try to do more game agnostic videos. What I mean by that is videos that aren't focused to a specific game, but to a breadth of them, and provide more of that, discussion standpoint that open-ended it. Because I love chatting with all you guys and love that community aspect. And I feel like this is a really good way of leveraging more of that interaction. So that's where it's going. So the table being made behind the scenes, it is not. It is not yet. It's Cassie. Yes. The table is loading. Yes. So, but no, Kim has been talking about it quite a bit. So we'll see if 2026 is the year of the table. I know right now it's kind of hectic with the house and everything, so we did have some repairs to the house. Nothing, well, major repairs, but honestly, considering things, it's fine. We're totally fine. It's just going to take a little bit to get situated as well. And on that note, there might be a week in the near future where we might not have content on the channel because we might have, well, we'll have to move out of the house for a short period of time as they do some major repairs. So just FYI. So. Oh yes, go have fun. Go check out Will over at Getting Jiggly with It. So he is going to be playing block by block over there. So check that out. So okay. So didn't see you there behind the table. Yes, I know. Okay, so let's dive into this a bit. Oh yeah, so what I was getting at is this is basically leveraging onto the interaction side of it. So I'm going to start by going through a bunch of things going on behind the scenes and games playing, and I'll be sharing my opinions. But like I said, if you guys have any questions, feel free to interrupt. I don't mind tangents. This is all what it's about. So that's true. Don't tell anyone that stuff like that. See if it will be gone. That's true. It's fine, Kim. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We're not. It's okay. Okay, so let's dive into it. So let me talk about Ashes to start. So I recently, it was a crazy end of the year last year trying to cover stuff, and I never got around to actually playing the latest the latest Reborn content from Ashes. And so I was able to finally sit down and play this one, which was really fun. I love what they're doing with the new enemies in this one. And it was fun kind of coming back to the Reborn format, after playing the Ascendancy format quite a bit lately. And I definitely like the Ascendancy format. It feels cleaner, and I tend to gravitate towards cleaner experiences, though the variety in this one's better. Definitely lean that way. But yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed it. I played with the new stuff. One of the new chimeras I haven't played. New Phoenixborn with this chimera, which was fun. But that also coincided with December meeting up very briefly with Mike from One Stop Co-op Shop. So He actually has family in town that he does visit, and so sometimes when that happens, he can sneak away for a little bit. We can meet up and say hi. But anyway, big shout out to him because uh, he had the storage solution that he wasn't using or didn't want, and I was definitely looking into it. So he was super generous and met up and gave me his set. So I was able to finally sit down and organize my ashes in this box, which is great. So it's yeah. So Mike is an awesome guy. One Stop Co-op Shop. Definitely recommend taking a look at their channel, their stuff. But yeah, really fun because I wasn't sure to get this initially because I wasn't sure how I wanted to organize it. I am one of those people who does like to deck build and does like to tweak. And Ashes is one of those games that you can store them as individual like fighters and assemble decks, but you can also store it as individual cards and kind of build your own deck. And I am very torn on which way I want to go with this game. So anyway, I've got it organized by characters at this point, and I have another set of cards to the side that I'm planning to just pull from and replace. But the organizer is beautiful. It is really nice. Yeah, I agree with you, Derek. It's really nice one. So, um, lots of room in there now. It won't take long to fill up, but I have ideas on how to take that space and maybe make some other card wells. I think it'll work pretty decently, so it can actually grow quite a bit from where it's at. So, but yeah, obviously a big fan of Ashes over here on the channel. So I do play that off camera if you guys were ever wondering. So I that's a good question, Mike. I did kind of talk to um my contact over at Plathead about that because I was like, hey, how much space is actually in there? And I just was able to like look at this at Gen Con last year, and they had it all sleeved, all in there, and there's room, but there's not a ton of room. And my understanding is the content coming out is going to be two heroes and a bad guy, a boss basically, in subsequent expansions here, and that's going to add up quite a bit, I think. Now the flip side is the bosses themselves, because the way they're approaching it is not going to take up as much space. So actually, I think the Red Rain's approach of the bosses, it is more cards, less variety, because well, in a sense. Um, and so I think now we're going to have there's going to be more characters filling up the remaining space, I would say. Uh, but I don't think they're going to stop this game, honestly. I think they're going to keep going. As long as there is interest and support in the game, from what I've understood, they're going to continue supporting the line. So we'll see how long that actually goes, because at some point it becomes really hard to maintain things. And shout out to Plathead for their idea of like, hey, we have this website where you can go and you can get your cards printed individually, because that is the hardest part. Like, you can't keep things restocked. Marvel Legendary is a great deck building game. It's been going on for 10 plus years, tons and tons of expansions out there, and some of the stuff they just can't keep in stock. It is crazy due to licensing stuff and due to amount of SKUs they have. It is crazy. And so it was really nice that they have that approach, so that this should be in the future foreseeable to like just keep it alive, because people can print whatever they want on demand. So I'm really interested in how that works logistically, because that's seems like a really awesome idea for everybody involved, but not sure how the logistics works behind the scenes. So, hey Victor, how's it going? Nice to see you here. So anyway, yes, playing Ashes. This box is great, beautiful box, and nice heavy construction. Really happy with it. So if you're looking to store things, definitely worth checking out. Okay, let me look at my notes. I got a lot of notes and things I wanted to talk about here today. Okay. Let me talk about. Oh, you know what? I don't have this prep, do I? I missed one of my talking points. Okay, so real quick, I'll pull those up. But the one big thing that we were able to complete was Kim and I and our son. We were able to complete the Children of Morta um, campaign. So we were able to finish this one, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun to get through it. Now I have a lot of thoughts on Children of Morta, though, just to share here. So the game itself is quite fun. It is. Let me find a decent picture here. Let's see. Yeah, you've got all these powers you're gonna unlock, and you're basically drawing from a bag that you collectively build up. That's how it works. And you've got all these items you can upgrade, all that fun stuff. So it's a roguelike approach. I get those mixed up. It's the one that when you die, you respawn, but you come back with upgrades. So you keep going through dying until you actually complete to the end. Um, so so yeah, that's the approach of this one, and it was a really fun experience. But the rule book of this one is really bad, I would say, and I say that because there are a lot of questions around bosses and how they work that I had to ask the designer to like, hey, clarify how do you interpret this? What's going on here? Um, and then the really big one is there's just a rule that's wrong in the rule book, and if you play it that way, it breaks down the game. And that specifically is around the coins. In the game, you will generate these coins by defeating enemies, and the coins can be used to upgrade your bag. Well, it says in the rulebook that all resources are unlimited. And when I was playing it, we were playing a three-player game, and Colin from Meet Me at the Table was also playing. We were chatting about this experience. He was playing, I think, a four-player game. I've been three two, but about the same point in the chapter, we both were like, "How many coins did you get in this chapter?" And like, I got like a ridiculous number. It's like, yeah, I got the same. And we are doing the math, like we can like buy most of the upgrades already. There's basically one more game, and we're maxed out, and we're about halfway through the campaign. The campaign's only like 7 chapters. Like we're at chapter 3 or 4. Like this seems really wrong. And so talking with the designers, like, yeah, coins are supposed to be a limited resource, but it says in the rulebook resources are unlimited. So if you do play this, keep that in mind. That is the official way to play. Is coins are limited. But once we played that way, it was a lot of fun. It actually rebalanced it, so we weren't like super powerful. But at the end, we did level up and lose a few times, so we were pretty powerful at the end, and it was fun. The end of the boss, though, because we were so powerful, wound up feeling easy. Not sure it's because we were so leveled or if the boss itself is easy. But regardless, it was a really good time. I love the co-op in this one. It's all simultaneous. Lots of it keeps you engaged, and it's good. You upgrade through dying, something good get for Derek. Yes, yes. There's dice rolling too, Derek. But the problem with Derek is there is a dice. I'm sorry, all the dice in the game have one blank side on it. I bet I know what side Derek's going to be rolling. So, yeah, it's probably not for Derek because the blank sides. That's for sure. So, but yeah, it was fun. This one, despite the rulebook issues, which honestly I think it's just rulebook issues, and they're already working on a revised rulebook. So once that gets shared, that should clear this all up. But the game, the components, everything else is great. I like it a lot. In fact, this game has the thickest tokens I've ever seen in a game. They are ridiculously thick, like super high quality. It's hard to describe what they are. It was funny because I was chatting on with the Discord, and people were asking, "Hey, what coin capsules should I get for these?" Because if you can, people want to put on coin capsules, but they also have really nice acrylic tokens you get. And the funny thing is, people are like, "Yeah, they don't fit in coin capsules," and they don't fit because how thick they are. So that gives you an idea how crazy this the quality is in this game. It's actually quite impressive, to be honest. So, but that's Children of Morta. Finally finished that campaign. My intention was to do maybe like a how to play, so I can kind of explain this stuff more holistically. To do a instructional video, I think there's just a lot of people online that do a fantastic job at it. So I've never done an in-depth one because of that. I did the jump start, which honestly is one of my most frequented videos, I would say. A quick, not in deep instruction, but just an overall one to get you started, so you're not coming from a cold state. And those that's fun to do. I think there's a lot of value there, but those are hard for me to do. I haven't quite figured out the formula. My hope is after I kind of work through the new stuff I'm adding to the channel is to get back to doing jump starts. But that probably won't happen until I'm probably a few months here as I'm ramping up and trying to get my feet wet with this new stuff approaching. I don't want to do too many changes at one time. So, okay. That is Children of Morta, though. Definitely like it, but big caveat with the rulebook. let me jump to another one that we've been playing. So, we've also been playing Restless. So, this is a game that was on GameFound. You can still late pledge it. And I did a video on my top previews of last year. And I played this again recently. I say that recently because I would say maybe like 90% of the time, when we're done with the preview, we send off to another content creator or we send it back to the designer or publisher or whatever. But in some rare cases, like this one, they're like, no, we don't need it. Just do what you want with it. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So it's mostly a full game, honestly. They actually sent quite a bit there. So enough to, it's got some errors in it. It's not 100% polished, but it's enough to definitely play it. So we played this one again recently with my wife, Kim, and our son, and we're just loving this game. It is super, super fun. It's interesting because there's not, it's not, it's almost negative. It's not unique in that stance of go to location and have a random event type thing, right? And in this one, you roll a D100, two D10s, and basically D100, and look at it in a book and read what happens. And then it's a lot of like just dice rolling and choosing your options and stuff like that, adventures. But it's the execution of this that makes it stand out for us. It is very easy to understand, and the variety of encounters in that book is excellent. And I've played this a number of times already, and I've even had the same encounter multiple times, and it's felt different because even within an encounter, it branches. And the nice thing is the encounters you have, they're not very long. They're like maybe a paragraph at most. Some of them are longer, but usually they're pretty quick to resolve. And so we find everyone's engaged at the table and stuff like that. So this one, really, really like it. I did back this one. I went all in on it. So yeah, Restless. Still enjoying this even after we covered it. So yeah. If you have any questions on it, let me know. I will absolutely definitely help with any questions on that one. So, other thing to talk about, we did play a lot of United on the channel. Face Deathbird, Brood, and Apocalypse. Apocalypse was a crazy battle. That's always so difficult. Nothing went right in the Apocalypse battle when we planned it out. I don't have an image for that one. I should pull one up. That's okay. I'll pop this away while I talk United real quick. It's funny because I do spend a lot of time looking at like what character combinations to use, and I tend to always try. Actually I want to do this for a co-op chat. Is do a Timmy, Spike, and Johnny persona discussion. And Timmy, Johnny, and Spike. If you ever played Magic the Gathering, those are like the archetypes of different players, for example. And it's like some of them are like, hey, I want to do a really big, I want to be like lots of damage. I want to do all the crazy combos. I want to just see what the game can do, basically. There's like different reasons for that. And I'm definitely ones that like, I want to see what the game can do. So whenever I'm doing United stuff, I'm like, ooh, I could grab this character, but I haven't played this other character in a while. Can I make him work in this situation? So I spend a lot of time looking at that type of stuff. So yeah, exactly, man. We play since when, I know. Oh yeah, I'm glad you went all in on Restless. Yeah, you have to let me know what you think of that one when you do get it. Because I'm really impressed with it for sure. Yes, Tavo. I will talk about Gears of War. I can talk about it in just a second. I'll do that next. There's no news on that. Let me put it that way. It's just that I played it recently. So don't get your hopes up, but I will talk about the Gears of War board game. But yeah, so I do enjoy that type of stuff. I won't go into a whole lot of details on the Marvel United stuff because we covered so much on the channel. But the fact that it's such a simple game and we just have, there's so much fun talking about different teams and combinations and strategies. It really surprises me on that one. That game is super high on my best games of all time list for sure. All right, since Gears of War is mentioned, let's jump to that next. So, Gears of War. Pop this down. Here we go. So this is an oldie but a goodie. So I still have this game. It is on my shelf, and I don't plan to get rid of it because it's just so hard to find. But it is a game from Fantasy Flight that I think just got a bad rap when it was launched. It is very difficult, rules as written. It is, you are slogging through this dungeon with these aliens popping up. It's obviously based upon the video game. Rolling dice with cover and line of fire, and basically trying to manage with limited ammo. I like playing with a house rule, and that makes it easier. I know this is one of the few games that house rule make it easier, but I like the house rule of being able to find more ammo in the game, so we can it makes the game, it speeds it up basically, which is what I wanted to do. And actually, we just played recently, and we still lost even with the easier rules because I apparently can't throw a grenade in the game. But yes, this game is really fun, and it had one of the best enemy AIs in board games at the time. I think nowadays there's a number of games that also do a very good job AI, but at the time, like I said, this was the best because each enemy kind of had their own system or group. They would move in logical ways. Like the guy with the alien, I think the aliens. I'm not sure what the aliens or the enemies are called in this game. I've not played the video games. Or locust, that's what we call locust. The locust with a grenade launcher, he will back up and then take a fire, right? And then the swarmers basically, they'll of course rush you, and they will spawn extra people as well. And the guys who are like your normal drone, they will attack from like a mid range, but also heal themselves because they're kind of tough on that. So yeah, it's fun because you just read the cards and it kind of just works naturally in the system out. So yes, I missed with two grenades. Two grenades. That your life is also your cards in this game. So as you play more cards, you kind of get risk of taking more damage. And you can play cards out of turn for bonuses and stuff like that. So yeah, you say hypothetically when you throw a grenade. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, I guess the other thing to say is this is kind of why I wanted to start this type of discussion because I do have a tendency to play older stuff too when I get a chance. Like I like to just try and like get back to some games in my collection, and that might not always hit the channel. And then I wouldn't necessarily cover all these on the channel just because it would be a lot of work, and I'd like to, of course, play with my family, stuff like that. So explosives are my specialty. Yes, they are. Where's my explosive? There it is. Oh no, you can't see it. It's behind the thing. Oh, I ruined it. My explosion happened behind the screen. I messed up my layering. Sorry about that. So, yes. So yeah, Gears of War, really fun game. If you get a chance to try it, definitely get a chance, definitely play this one. But I also would say that nowadays, I don't think you're missing anything either. It's not like there are games that have just as good AIs and they're still fun and do a lot of the same stuff that this one does. So yeah, I know, but okay, hold on. I'm gonna do it again for you guys. I'm gonna do it again. Where's my that's oh, that's interesting. There we go. I gotta tuck this away because some of my layers are incorrect. So here's the bomb. Oh no, where is it? I don't have it set up for this scene. That's what's going on. That's why it didn't show up. I will have to add that next time. So, speaking of which, yeah, I have a lot of different scenes that I run for this. And so, not all elements on every scene have everything. That's a little bit of background information. So, I also like talking shop quite a bit. So, if you guys want to know how all of this you see works, I no problem sharing that stuff. So, I love the franchise, but never had the opportunity to play the board game. Thanks for the story. Yeah, it's a good game. Definitely worth taking a look. So, the line of fire in that is very cool. In that there's got specific spots you stand in for cover, and if the enemy draws a line of fire across this, it's a defined boundary. You get full cover. If it draws a line of fire from any other direction, you get partial cover. If you're in the spot, you get no cover. And so it's a lot of diving around covers, going on top of elevation and shooting down. It's very simple on how it works. And it was actually a really nice design. It got a bad rap when it was launched, and I think it was ahead of its time. Honestly, I think it was ahead of its time. But yeah, it's a cool one. So I think we played this. I don't know. I didn't play for Extra Life. This might be a good Extra Life game, honestly. So all right, that is Gears of War. Like getting to old stuff. So let's talk about something else. Yes, you found Loot Frodo. I gotta get back to updating the boss in this boss battle. That's on my agenda too. I'm so behind on that one. Okay, let's talk about Baktor. That is currently on GameFound. We played this again recently. I still have the demo. This is also one that they didn't want to send back or anything, and I'm actually planning on sending to another content creator. Um, but I haven't done that yet because I did mention that I will probably be doing a live stream of this one as well. Uh, I had it slated for a different date, but they pushed their launch date back, so I'm trying to figure out where I can fit this in my schedule to cover this one. It will probably be sometime next week, I'm thinking at this point. So, but yeah, this is a cool game. My son really likes it a lot. It is very approachable, like super easy to pick up and understand, uh, and it's a fun one too. You are exploring this random dungeon, and you have energy that basically all your actions of moving and attacking, and you roll a d20, and each character has a different um, hit value based upon the type of character it is. So some of them, like, I want to be around lots of enemies, some of them I want to be around very few enemies, some of them I want to be at range from enemies. They're all different in that regard. But the fun thing about it is everyone has their own unique hero deck that you level up with. So every time you level up and everyone levels up together, draw 2 cards and pick one, and you wind up having this tableau of powers in front of you towards the end. And then basically, you're trying to go through, explore the dungeon far enough to come across the boss's lair. The boss will eventually appear, and then you need to take down the boss before everyone dies or you run out of time. So, very simple game. It's a fun one. I enjoyed this one. My hesitation around it is as much fun as I have with this one. I don't know how I don't know how many legs it has. Like, I don't know if it's gonna withstand being in a collection. That's my biggest concern with it is that, because like once you see all the bosses don't feel a whole lot different. They are different in that the AI, each bot has a different boss deck, so the enemies will act harsher in different challenge levels, but they don't feel a ton different, I would say. And but it's a fun one, like I said, it's a really good one. Um, so yeah, this one looks interesting. The not so tiny epic dungeons. Yeah, it's a decent example. This looks pretty cool. I've spent enough money in the last few months. Yes, yeah, yeah. This one, I don't know if it's like a for sure back. I think there's a lot of people who really like this game for sure. And like I said, I've had fun every time I played it. But I'm just thinking about Gears of War is a perfect example. Like I like to hang out to games for a long period of time, and I don't know if this would stay in my collection. Is what it comes down to it. And it looks great. I just need to convince myself I'd pick it over Zombicide, just something for a light crawl experience. Yeah, yeah. This one is very easy to teach and play. Very easy to teach and play. And so actually Kim hasn't played this one, and I was hoping when I do live stream, I could sit down with her and then could teach her live then, and you can see how quick it is to understand and get your feet wet with this. So it also claims to play up to 6 players, which is I've not tried yet. Um, I think it'll work. The downside to it is you have less turns overall in the game. Basically, there's only so many turns before the game ends because there is essentially a round timer that will end the game at some point. So, but you can do things outside your turn, but you need energy for that, and you don't always get a ton of energy. So that's the big hesitation I have around 6. So it would be fun to try sometime though. Looks fun, but my budget and space, not sure it's my scope. Yeah, it's fair. That's fair. It's like I said, I enjoyed it quite a bit, but I don't know if you need to necessarily jump on this one, honestly. So yeah, I played Baktor as well since we had it. My son was asking for it, so it's a hit for him. He really likes this one a lot. Okay, let's jump to some other stuff played. Let me jump to. I just played this last night. Flame and Forge, which is currently on Kickstarter. So I'm going to also talk about games I've covered on the channel as well. So not just games off channel, but a little bit on channel. So I won't get into a whole lot on this one because I just covered it yesterday. But this is kind of a worker placement deck builder boss battler. It's a weird combination of mechanisms that is very unique. And so I played with the designer last night, and I was waiting until I played with him again because I play tested this one with him in the past. To see if I really wanted to, if I was going to back or not. And yeah, I did wind up going on this one. So I'm a huge fan of Keep the Heroes Out, and I love the presentation of his game because it's so clean. with the symbology and the graphic design and everything. So this has that is in spades, and this one is very different, and like I said, it's groupings of mechanisms, and so that's where I'm like, you know what, I don't have anything like this in my collection. So I was like, yep, and this is a fun game. I could see the combo potential, and it gets to be really fun, honestly. So I did wind up backing this one. I went all in, plus the Keep the Heroes Out addition to it as well. So yeah. Now the cool thing about this is you don't have to take my word for it. If you want to back this game, don't. Instead, go try the demo. There's a website that has a digital implementation of this. You don't have to. You don't need to log in or anything. It's on the campaign page. But you go there and you can just play it yourself, and then back it. So, but try it. This is very much try before you buy. So it's like I said, I wound up enjoying it. And I wound up backing it. If you have any questions, let me know. But um, I think it's got a really cool table presence too because of that giant dragon. I know my son's gonna love it when I have this dragon up on the table and we won't have to work towards taking him down. So this is a scenario game as well. So just like Keep the Heroes Out, it's gonna have various scenarios that you unlock and play through. So quite a bit of replayability in this one. So all right, let me keep jumping. So next thing I want to mention is this is a game I have to specifically talk about due to there it is, due to one of our early Q&As. So I've been playing Bomb Busters recently, both on our Discord server and in real life with my son. So if you're not familiar, I do have a Discord server. It's free to join. And in that server, there is a voice chat. And every once in a while, I'll jump on with different community members and we'll play games together. So we wound up playing Bomb Busters recently, which was a lot of fun. So this game is great. If you haven't played this, highly recommend this game to everybody. It's very approachable. It's kind of like, it's going to sound really bad, but cooperative Go Fish. It's the best way to describe it. But you're trying to cut all the wires in front of stands, and the wires are in different ascending order. And so as you cut wires, you get information for more wires, but some of the wires are red, which you don't want to cut because the bomb blows up, and you only have so many wrong guesses you can make. And you got tools and other abilities. And this game is really interesting. It has 66 missions in it. So the missions are all very replayable, but each mission has a different variation of this concept in play. And my son and I, we just unlocked a new box. There's boxes unlocking, you pull out new components. So I won't spoil anything for you guys, but we finally opened our second box in this game. So now we're working through the new components, trying to see what twist it applies to it, which is very cool. It's like, oh, this is different. Okay, we had this formula, but now I got to figure out a new formula based upon this other system. So yeah, it's a lot of game. It's not very expensive. It is. I think everyone I've played it with has enjoyed it. So I don't think this has missed yet. Yeah, Bombus is still one I need to play. I saw the end of one of your games in Gen Con, but didn't fully grasp it. Yeah, I will. You can probably guarantee I'll bring this to Gen Con every year. It's because it is a fantastic game, very quick to play. I never tire of it. So, and shout out to Chris, who's in our community, but he was super nice and printed custom stands for this. So I've got some 3D organizing and components, and it just makes the game so much fun to play. So yeah, huge fan of this one. Yeah, Chris here. This Chris, such a great game. So did an awesome job making a 3D printer. So thank you so much. And it is the Spiel des Jahres winner. Yes, it is. So game of the year. So definitely deserve it. So the same person who did the art for this, Dom is his name. He also did the Marvel United campaign we've been playing for a few years. So same guy. So in fact, it was because of Dom that I got this game, because it was funny. We were talking about Marvel United. I was chatting with Dom a little bit, like, hey, and he was like, hey, just so you know, I worked on this other game. It's called Bomb Busters, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I might, because I just talked to him. I was going to Gen Con. He's like, yeah, and I was like, is it co-op? It's like, yeah, it's co-op, and he's like, well, I'm fine, done. So I kind of walked up to the booth and like, you know what? Don't know anything about this game. All I know is Dom did the art and it's co-op. That's good enough for me. I'm buying it. So I bought it, wanted playing it. I'm like, wow, this is actually really fun, and just yeah, we loved it ever since. So. But yeah, so I'm gonna try to see. My son's on a Bomb Busters kick right now, so hoping we keep working through it and unlock more of those boxes, guys. I want to get all the missions unlocked in this one. Yeah, same Dom. Yep, same Dom. So And so if anybody wants to play this one, I would say the Tabletop Simulator mod is excellent because it does set up automatically for you. It's very easy to play in Tabletop Simulator. And if you ever want to jump in on our games or anything like that, just reach out to me, or Chris or Pickle is very active too. The three of us tend to play games quite a bit on that. Speaking of Discord, there's oftentimes I'll jump on the video chat and I'll put a little message that I'm editing or I'm um, preparing something or working on the channel type stuff. Feel free to jump on, just say hi, chat. So I'm around. So I like to try and make myself available. Cool. But yeah, Bomb Buster is a fantastic game. Highly recommend everyone go pick up a copy. It's not very expensive. Um, very, very fun. I might be talking about this one in the future if I can get through those other boxes. So, oh, speaking of which, Pickle had a question. He was asked. His question specifically was, "Who has failed the most in this game?" In my plays, and that's me. I was playing with my son, and my son is currently 10, going on 11, and there's moments in this game where he's like, "Is this a 4?" Or pointing at my wire. I'm like, "Yes, it is." Like, I don't know how you figured that out. He's just like, he's really got the formula down for this one. So, yeah, and I definitely misguess a few times at this one. So, I'm not good at this game, but I have a blast every time I play it. Okay, let me jump to, let's see. Oh, let's go from a small game that's very cheap to a big game that's very expensive. Company of Heroes. So I did cover this on the channel just recently. I only did a quick skirmish one. Um, that's the only time I fell. No, I fell all the time at guessing there. You know, this is a 6. No, it's an 8. No, it's a 6. I can't read the numbers. But yeah, so this is Company of Heroes, and I think in the future I'm going to take more pictures of the games at the table so you guys can see them in action. But this one has a beautiful table presence. I absolutely love this one. I went all in on this. I wanted one war game, and this is the one that I settled on because it's very approachable from a war game standpoint. Some war games can have a lot of charts and can be really complex. This one is complex, but it's not like overly so. But this one, I love the builds and the fact that it's a lot of resource management. So you're playing different factions, and it's kind of a head-to-head. This one you could play solo and co-op, which is the only way I play it. You can also play competitive, of course, but no, I don't play competitive. So, and you're trying to take over different control points. You see here, there's different flags, and the flags will then give you different increase your income of resources. Use those resources to buy more units, and you can use those resources to upgrade your units, and you get experience, which you can level up your commander or your units themselves. So there's a lot of leveling up, positioning your enemy, your units in different ways and attacking. And I had a blast playing this one. Wound up getting a tank that was stealth at some point, which is really fun. So trying to stealth tank around, trying to provide cover for it while they would provide support and cover. Yeah, really enjoyed this one. It is a long game for sure, and I like playing these 2 tile maps. I would like to cover this more on the channel, but honestly, I don't have the table space to do it. It's a big table hog, as you can see. Uh, yeah, there's a lot of pieces too, a lot of pieces. But Company of Heroes. Oh, this one is launching on GameFound, I would say, in the near later this year. So they are going to come back with it. So if you did want to get on in the game, that's the perfect time to do so. They are coming back with airplanes. So the airplanes in the game are just like effects that happen, but now they're gonna have actual airplane miniatures you can fly around the board, and a new faction type as well. So, but yes, Company of Heroes is one of those games I like playing quite a bit on the table. My son likes playing too, but for different reasons. He likes the miniatures, the big toy factor. Oh, let's talk about this game. So Invincible. This is Invincible, the deck building, or the card game, as to say. Speaking of playing on our Discord server, this is one of the games we played recently with them. So Chris was very generous to teach the game to us. Because I was very interested in this one. This one is based upon Astro Knights, which is based upon Aeon's End. So, but it is that type of system, but with the intellectual property of the Invincible, the comic series, and the uh, video series as well. So animated series. So the big thing about this one is a deck builder, and you're buying cards, level and add them to your deck, and you don't shuffle your deck, and you're trying to take down a boss together. Uh, this I really like, and this is my first time playing the Astro Knights slash Invincible formula versus the Aeon's End formula. I had a lot of Aeon's End, and I know Derek really likes that one, so I wasn't playing anymore. So it's like, hey, Derek, to have it all. So he's been playing through all that stuff, which is a really good system. But like I said, wasn't playing it, so I'd rather have someone else enjoy it. And I was curious how this one would fare. And I do like this one quite a bit. It does feel different. It feels a little bit cleaner in some aspects, but also not as much depth I've seen in the design so far. But uh, I enjoyed it quite a bit, but it's not one that I feel like I need to own. Because I know when playing with Kim, we played a lot of Ants End together. We really enjoyed that system. And this one, the new one, adds an expedition mode, which is a really nice short campaign, which was fun. But um, yeah, I wasn't quite sold enough to personally pick up a copy, but it was still a good time. I would This is the game where I would put in the category of if someone asks, I will always say yes to play, but I probably wouldn't ask to play this one very often. So yes, it was quick to set up and just play. Exactly. And that's the one thing I was really interested in, Billy, is trying to like having a nice condensed boxes. Aeon's End is really fun, but it was a massive thing with all these options. It was really fun, but at the same time, it's something quick set that's easy to pick up and play and just put away. And this definitely scratches that itch. Now, I will say, I love the Invincible, the hero building game. That is by a different company, Direwolf, I want to say, does that one. That one, absolutely love that game. I would love to see more content for that game. So, um, but that's very different than this. The other one, that one is more of a bag builder and a tableau builder. This is a deck builder. So, yeah. Yeah, I like the hero builder more. I'm you too. Yeah. The push your luck is really fun in that one. I always crash. And that one is so too Billy. Kim, we're just gonna play the game. Kim's like, okay, I just let me know when you're gonna crash. I know you're gonna crash every single game because I inevitably do. So, and the funny thing about that game is we always play the same characters. Kim always plays Adam Eve. My son always plays Invincible, and I always play as Robot. So we just wound up sticking with those characters. We just always play them. So fantastic game. Never get tired of that one. But yeah, so like I said, if you're ever interested in playing these games, like we sit down and play on our Discord quite a bit and try and explore different experiences. So let's see what else I have on here. And you know what? I think I'm pretty far through the list I have. Yes. Okay, this is basically what I have to cover from a game standpoint. So, uh, where's my buttons here? There we go. So yeah, this is the type of format I want to do. Kind of talk the games play, give opinions of different games, so you can hear that type of stuff. Ask any opinions you want to know about any games out there, or anything really. I'm open to that. And just share what's going on with the channel stuff. So also speaking of the channel stuff, there's a couple more things I wanted to mention. Is I started to do weekly posts again. And so if you're subscribed to the channel, you probably will start seeing those posts popping up. It's a single image which shows you this week what's planned for that week. And I have an actual monthly calendar behind the scenes that I'm working on. But unfortunately, it's so hard to maintain a monthly schedule because publishers come by like, hey, I need to cover this game in a couple days or this week or things. Long story short, things change all the time. So I'm just going to be posting weekly calendar so you guys can see that. You can see that on YouTube or in the Discord. Um, and oh, and if you're ever interested in the YouTube stuff, there's a Discord feature I want to talk about as well. But I'll answer Chris' questions here. I know you like pirates. It's a new Zombicide piquing your interest. Yes, it is, Chris. I do have all of modern Zombicide. And it's the only one I have. I have like the old 1.0 mixed with the 2.0 stuff. So it's like maybe like a 1.5. Very happy with that because of the variety of it. I got a ton of it. I love pirates. I love co-op pirates, which is very, very rare. So I'm interested in the new Zombicide Pirates game. I'm not likely to pursue it though because I have so much of the modern Zombicide, and I'm very satisfied with it. But if it's small box and it's easy to table and it does something that catches my eye, maybe I'll pursue it that way. Similar to what we mentioned earlier from Billy here, the quick to set up and just play games are there's definitely value there. So, have you seen plays of Dice Quest yet? I have actually, Brian. I actually was a little bummed because I was every month I try to put together a list of upcoming co-ops, and that was not on my list because when I saw it and I read competitive, I'm like, well, this seems like a mobile competitive game. It's not co-op at all. I totally missed the fact that it does have co-op in it. So I did watch plays of that recently. I actually shout out to Mike from One Stop Co-op Shop. I watched his video, and honestly, it wasn't selling me. It wasn't what I expected, and I'm very hesitant on that one because I think Mike nailed it. It seems like a fun game, but I feel like the focus has been on competitive, which is great. But the co-op or in the solo system, it seems like it's in flux, and it seems like it will probably need some refinement before it's there. And then, so I'm kind of like, okay, I see what you're doing. I'm not really sold now. I think I'm gonna wait and come back to it when you've finally got through the development and figure out what the co-op and solo is going to be doing. So that's definitely on my hey, check out later table for now. But I would like to have a co-op MOBA. I don't have a co-op MOBA game. Like what I mean MOBA meaning massive online battle arena, I think is the acronym. Where you got like lanes of enemies and you're like you normally run a hero trying to level up and different minions you fight and everything. So yeah. Hey Darren, you plan on playing Stone Saga soon. Very interested in how it is now. Yes, Darren. I just got today. I got through organizing it. I am rereading the rulebook of that one. I would love to play that next week if possible. I don't know. I don't know if I can play next week. So I got to figure out if I can sneak into the schedule or not. Uh, but regardless, we will be playing it soon just as a refresher. Yeah, I love Stone Saga. Both came, I love that experience. And I see some differences now, and I like what the differences I see. So I'm very curious how the whole thing's going to come together. So, but regardless, we will be covering that on the channel. I just don't know when yet. Don't know when. For a game that builds itself as a dice builder, you don't get a lot of dice. Oh, for Dice Quest, that's true. That's true. Yeah. Yes, Mike did a great video and nailed that. Yeah, for sure, Greg. For sure. Have I played Cloudspire? I have not played Cloudspire. I have played very few of the chip theory games. I'm trying to think. Well, maybe not that many few. I've played Elder Scrolls. I've played Too Many Bones, and I've played what's the robot one, the programming one? It's driving me nuts. Burn Cycle. Burn Cycle is the other one. So those are the ones I played. Burn Cycle was the one I was most excited for because I love stealth games. I love the concept of the robots and trying to infiltrate a building and different towers like that. But it wound up being too much in the game. Like if they took things out of the game, I like it better. I like clean games in a lot of cases, and that one just felt like it had everything in the kitchen sink, and it was distracting from the core experience for me. So unfortunately, that one didn't work for me. Too Many Bones was fun, but there was something that was missing it for me. It wasn't really much of a hit. I would enjoy it. I would play if someone asked, but I think it was a little bit of the length of that game too. Elder Scrolls is a lot of fun with the character builds for sure, but that game was way longer than I expected. I was hoping it would be like shorter sessions to play through it, and there's just a lot of rules too. But the character build's amazing that game. But I have not played Cloudspire, so I need to try that at some point. Uh, and yes, Terminus Frontier is going to be a lot of fun when it drops, for sure. That's a good one. That's a really fun stealth, jumping on different buildings. And the ammo system in that one is really cool, where you have a deck of cards and it'll tell you how many hits you have. And at some point you have to reload, which means you can shuffle your deck and fire the same missiles again. You can customize it. So very, very cool system in that one. I played the one a few times. I played the prototype, and I only got a little bit of taste of the game, but I'm looking forward to see what the final version looks like. So, and yes, Phantom Epoch is dropping soon as well. So, Phantom Epoch is a game I've played about half of it, half of the campaign. I'm trying my son to get back to it, but every time I ask him, he's like, "No, I don't want to play." because he wants to play new stuff. I'm like, no, come back. We gotta finish this one. I want to finish this campaign so bad. So I'm just being patient. I want to wait for him to get the bite again, and we'll jump back into it. But that one's adding two new classes of characters, which one of them, the time one, sounds really cool. It's also adding a new mechanism that is going to address the dice in that game, because there is a dice system in that game that basically everyone's been complaining about, and that's going to be an official rule now. So I think that's going to make the game a ton better. So. Mouse of Light Adventures looks like what I want Alter Quest to be. Yes, Mouse of Light is a great design. I have some concerns around how the schemes work specifically, but I know that the Sadler Brothers are tweaking that, making a lot of changes to it based on feedback. I'm a big fan of Sadler Brothers designs. A lot of their games just hit really well for me. My favorite though is by far Street Masters. I love that design from them, but they have a lot of games that are really good. So. It's just the time I'm starting it now. Oh, just time for Phantom Epoch. Okay. I plan a house rule in the fumble. Yes. Actually, you don't even have it's not even a house rule anymore, Brian. Is it now going to be an official rule in the future? So you don't have to worry about it. So that is the nice thing about that. So the designer's been great with that feedback. So yes, Phantom Epoch is one I like a lot because it is getting back to quick to set up, and it's just well executed in how managing the enemies stats and everything, and the enemies aren't synchronized swimming, which is a term I like using when usually like you play a board game, you flip over a card and it says, hey, all the goblins, they move to and they attack. I'm like, but this goblin is like really far away. Why would he move to an attack like all the other ones are doing, right? And so it's nice that the you flip a one card and based upon the color of the enemy, they will do different stuff, which is very, very fun. So yes, that's really cool. But I do want to mention something else regarding the channel, and I'm looking at chat, so any other questions or comments come in, let me know, I'll respond to them. But if you like this type of content we put out, but you don't like all the stuff we put out, I recommend subscribing, but don't hit the bell. Which is not good for the algorithm. It's not going to help us out. But I say that because go to our Discord. In our Discord, I have a channel and roles tab in there. And in there, if there is a type of video you want to be notified of, like the recaps, maybe I only want to hear about reviews and recaps, for example. Or maybe I just hear about playthroughs. I don't hear about Marvel United. You can actually customize that at any time, select what you want, and you will get notified when I create a video when that video drops. So it's a really nice way of customizing how you get those notifications to get exactly what you want, because I wish YouTube would have more controls, but Discord lets you do that. So yeah, G.I. Joe, that looked interesting. I haven't played that one. I watched a video of that one, but that's also why I liked Sword and Sorcery, because Sword and Sorcery the enemies were varied and different, and I like it when enemies don't always attack the closest hero. They attack ones behind the lines and stuff like that. So very few games do that, and it's a little bit of a it can be both pros and cons, because it might require the enemy AI to take a longer time to execute, because there's a lot more complexity in it. It's not as simple to pick up and understand, but I prefer that type of stuff. So you need Kim category. All videos with Kim in it. Oh, that's not a half bad idea, man. I'm not against that. So interesting. Yeah, I would have to drop two notifications, one for Kim, one for, yeah, it's definitely possible though. All videos of Kim building a table. We will record that when it starts. So we're gonna put together a montage for sure. So we played Meeple Monkey. Yeah, Meeple Monkey is, I watched his videos of that G.I. Joe game. It looked really cool. It looked fun. So that is the is it called Mission Critical? Is that the name? I forget. But yeah, it looked fun. So okay, the other thing I'll mention is I did add some other stuff to the server, or to this YouTube channel. So I have, in the beginning, I have a list of the commands you could do, and I did add a ping command. So in the future, if I'm ever streaming and I miss something that requires attention, you can type an ! Ping, and you can do it now if you want, and I'll get an audio notification that hopefully you guys won't hear, but I will hear it, draw my attention to the chat, And I set it up so you can't spam it anyway, so don't worry about that. So just letting you know that that is also an option. I always like to add, looking for the engineer in me, it definitely abides by the, if it doesn't have enough if it ain't broke, it doesn't have enough features yet. So I always try to add more stuff. And that is all I have. I'm looking at my list. Yes, that's all I have. So let me know what you think of this type of content. If you like this open forum, just discussion, if you want me to focus on different things, if I probably will try to get a list of Q&A questions in advance. So I'll probably do maybe a post of that like a week ahead of time next time. Try to gather a bunch of stuff so I have some talking points in that order that I can go through. But yes, that's what I have for this week. There's no other content planned for this channel at this point. I will be working on Stone Saga since I just got that, so you should see that soon. Next week we will have Marvel United on Monday. Well, maybe. There's a storm coming, so that might affect things, but pending storms. Marvel United on Monday, and I guess and Wednesday would be the first Wednesday of the month, so that's going to be a co-op corner where I cover all the news in cooperative news in February, the stuff that's launching. So let me know if you have any suggestions or comments and feedback. Always welcome that. And thanks everyone for watching. See you next time at the guild. Bye bye.